Right then, this is a walk around video, and this is for a beautiful, beautiful Lexus CT200. This is the SEL model on a 61 plate with just 69,000 miles. This car has been absolutely loved, serviced all the way through by Lexus and been kept in absolutely stunning condition. The car's 10 years old and it's hard to believe, in all honesty. Front of the car, clean as a whistle. Bumper, can't see any marks, stone chips. Likewise the bonnet, if there's any, they are absolutely microscopic. There are just 2 or 3 very light marks on the car, which I'm going to highlight because that's the point of the video. Flank of the car, just wonderfully clean. So coming to the near side front alloy, the one that takes all the bashing, and it has got a little bit of light curbing right around the outside edge, which could be easily attended to, but the point of the videos is to pick up on them. Coming down the remainder of the panel, and the only paintwork blemish, and it is absolutely minuscule, I've got to find it, hopefully you can see there, it's like a pinprick, tiny little dent there. I mean, it really is very small, but it is there, and as I said, the point is to pick up on them. Rear alloy absolutely unmarked. Coming around the back of the car, front and rear parking sensors fitted to these cars, of course, and the rear parking camera, because this one benefits from having the upgraded premium Sat Nav as well. Offside, it's just mirror smooth. It's like looking at a new car. It's amazingly clean, this car. Offside rear alloy, again, absolutely unmarked. The remaining panels are just superb. And finally, offside front alloy, same as the other side, just minor curbing right on the outside edge. But that doesn't detract from the fact that this has to be one of the very cleanest examples out there. Coming to the boot area now, again, it's been kept absolutely beautifully. It really has. Obviously they are used quite regularly, but this one's been treated so gently. Just coming to the back of the car now, the interior of the car, probably even more so than the exterior, is absolutely amazing. These rear seats, I can hardly imagine that ever actually been sat on. They are in stunning condition back here. And coming into the front, door cards, all of them are absolutely beautiful, of course. Full set of original Lexus mats fitted the car, and passenger seats on the front there. Again, as I said, I think probably just one person's been sat driving this car, because it's hard to believe that anyone sat on those other seats. Just coming to the driver's door card now, final one, again all really nice. The only thing you do get on these Lexus, just there, the leatherwork just slightly ripples, and basically that's where your elbow goes when you push the door open. It's a bizarre setup. It's exactly the same on my one. I've got a 2015 car, so it's quite normal. Driver's seat, again, just in absolutely amazing condition. So inside the car now, engine is switched on during this section of the video, so the dashboard can be seen illuminated. As you can see there, you've got the premium Sat Nav system fitted to the car. All its features work. You can press there to fold it down, pop it up, and then you can adjust the tilt on it as well, but all working absolutely perfectly. But it is a wonderful dashboard, and it looks absolutely as new in here. Whoever's owned this car should be applauded, because they've kept it absolutely sensationally well. And across the main dashboard binnacle, hopefully you can see in there, it says 69,865 miles, and that's the, sorry it's a bit glary there, that's the view you get when you're in normal and eco mode. If you flick to the right, then you get the rev counter in sport mode. It looks absolutely stunning on the car. Steering wheel looks absolutely as new in hand, in all honesty. But it is, it's a testament to the ownership of this vehicle. The condition inside is amazing. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, both here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video on an absolutely appalling day, unfortunately, but such is the nature of it. I have to do the videos when I can, so but there we go. This is for a Lexus CT200, and it's the SEL model. This particular car is registered GY61RFX, and mileage at the start of the road test is 69,857 miles. The reason we do these videos is basically so that anyone that's looking at any of our cars online actually get to see the cars advertised in operation, and it is the very car in the photographs and in the description. The reason for that is very simple. It's that we know to our cost how frustrating it can be to go and travel short distances, or at far worse, long distance, to go and see a car which looks perfectly good, only to get there and find out when you drive it, it's got a fundamental issue that shows up whilst you're driving the car. So that's why we do it. It's also done on these very quiet country roads, very close to our premises. And the reason for that is that this actually forms part of the road test route any prospective buyer would go on. So hopefully it would then be representative of what you'd feel yourself, should you be offered a test drive in the car. Car in question, as you'll know from the advert, hopefully, it's been absolutely beautifully looked after by Lexus, and without wishing to be a complete spoiler, it shows as soon as you drive the car. It just is absolutely as tight as a nut in every single way. Engine or hybrid system starts by push button, and it illuminates, no warning lights at all. Everything's exactly as it should be. The hybrid system is absolute genius. I'm so smitten on these cars now. I bought myself one. I've just loved them. So this is a huge sense of bias in this, obviously, but I am also just being honest with any issues there might be. But the hybrid system, Lexus refer to it as self-charging, so there's no plugging in. You can't run out of electric as such, because it generates its own as you're hitting the brakes or backing off the throttle, that kind of thing. You can only run out of fuel in the old-fashioned way. That's it. But the interaction between the hybrid system, engine, battery, on, off, is just brilliantly engineered. It's so smooth in transition. You hardly know what it's doing. You can go onto the screen there and look at different functions to see what it's doing, because basically you just can hardly feel it. It is brilliant, and it is just amazingly reliable. They use this in many of their cars, and they're capable of many hundreds of thousands of miles with just normal maintenance. The engine operates in two modes, or the car does. Currently it always starts off in kind of eco mode or normal mode, and my dashboard here in front, which is got a blue background, and it's got the econo meter on the left hand side. Should I twist that large knob to the right hand side, it then goes into sport mode. Immediately the throttle response is far quicker. You put your foot down and it's up and going. Dashboard changes, got this lovely red hue behind it. You've got a rev counter in the old-fashioned way. Just brilliant. It works superbly, I must admit, because on very short trips I tend to leave it in eco mode. I don't need to be sort of barreling along at any speed, but then on the open road and motorway I tend to chuck it into the sport mode. Doesn't seem to make a huge difference in fuel economy, not that I've measured it precisely, but sort of I haven't noticed anything. Engine obviously feeds through into gearbox. Gearbox in the car is CVT, or constantly variable transmission. It just matches the engine brilliantly, because by definition there are no gears. It's constantly variable. It's just, so you put your foot down and go, and it's just this completely smooth pickup. No lurching, no gear changes, no indecision. It's just so smooth in the way it operates. It's brilliant, and it works absolutely perfectly, of course. Steering on the car, really nicely weighted. It's very precise, it's accurate, it's really confidence inspiring. It's got a lovely feel to it. Like most cars now, they're all electric power steering, but some can be very kind of lightweight. This feels really nice on the road. It also tracks absolutely dead straight. There's no vibrations at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit, so all in fine fettle there. Chassis of the car, again, really nicely done, because it's got a slightly more sporty edge to it than a lot of Lexus product. It's just the kind of car it is, I guess. But they've given you a really nice balance between ride comfort, and it is genuinely comfortable, and also kind of decent body control and handling. You know, I would never go so far as to say they are sports cars, because they're not really. It's not that kind of car. It's a car, you know, but this road here is horrible. It's really pitted, but the suspension is very sophisticated and rides it beautifully well. It really, really does. It's also a section of road I deliberately pick on, because obviously if there's any noises coming from underneath the car that shouldn't be there, any kind of chatterings or knocking noises, this section of road tends to pick up on it, even notwithstanding all the water on the road. But absolutely perfect. Brakes on the car, just got to hold on to my bits to make sure they don't go flying forward, but give a good shove. Really nice, solid, powerful brake pedal on the car. What I'm looking for in particular on any automatic car is that there shouldn't be any kind of pulsing with the brake pedal or any vibrations, which would suggest sort of brake disc wear and pad wear, and there's nothing at all. It's absolutely solid as a rock. So coming inside the car, first things first, as always with Lexus, a beautifully put together car. No squeaks, rattles, nothing at all. It's just such a lovely, solid, beautifully engineered vehicle. But I love this interior, and I said because I'm sold on mine, this is probably why. Obviously it's a high spec one, so you've got the optional premium Sat Nav system there. That's lovely as well, because the screen itself, you've got a little button down here, you can tilt it different angles, so if the sun's out and it's glaring slightly, you press a button there and it folds it down in its entirety if you don't want it up, but all working exactly as it should. Air conditioning, which is dual zone, so gives you different temperatures side to side. Again, that's all working exactly as it should. Even though it's a horrible day, we put it into a nice warm workshop earlier on and put the air conditioning on. It blew out lovely and cold, so all exactly as it should be. Heated seats, I've got them on now, working perfectly, but it's just the layout of the interior. It is very hard to put your finger on it. You feel really in the car. It's a very hard thing to explain. This dash, the labelling of the controls, the layout, it just is so intimate in the way it feels. It's a really special car to sit in, and I think that's really important for lots of people, because you know there's so many kind of generic cars out there where they're just, you know, the same thing just regurgitated over and over and over. But this is actually using the same theme as most. You've got your dashboard here, your sat nav, your centre stack, but the layout, the let's say the labelling, the tactile feels of all the controls, the gear lever's got this wonderful springing action to it. You just know that Lexus have gone to a huge amount of trouble to give you that sensation, and it works, because it is I personally think it's a very special car indeed. As I said at the start of the video, the point of it is literally, as brief as it might be, just to pick up on any issues actually there might be on the car, of which there's nothing at all. It drives without any fault. I cannot fault it in any way, and it feels like a car that's done hardly any miles at all. Even though it is low mileage, it really feels like one that's done sort of 10,000 miles. It just feels so tight. It's in such lovely condition in here. As always, if you've got any questions about the car, don't hesitate, please do give us a call.